Hi everybody, continuing with the Emily Long journals.
Happy Sunday. We did family pictures today on the beach. It was so fun. Everyone looked so cute with our amazing photographer. She's wonderful. And we got I think great pics. So I'm really excited to see those. We're doing them every 3 months right now. And that gives me joy that we're going to have these immense amounts of photos forever. It was kind of a tough weekend. It was a very emotional weekend, which I will get into at some point, not in this video, when I get the guts to talk about what we've been going through the past week. It's been a lot. It's been very emotionally taxing. Here come the dogs. Anyways, I have made a video. I just haven't posted it publicly yet. I think I'm getting close. I just wanted things to the dust to settle and us to kind of get acclimated to what's going on. So I will share that soon. I just need to be brave. Anyways, I do have a point to this video. So I've been thinking a lot about the longevity of glioblastoma. So I feel we're going to be in this journey forever. We're going to be the 10, 15 years because my husband did so well with his surgery. He's been doing pretty well up until now with his chemo and radiation. But even after what happened last week, he has been getting stronger, and I do feel he's progressing. And this is kind of depressing, but I am curious. For those who have had a loved one who's had it, maybe you have it, or you were a caregiver for someone who had it, at what point did things decline? I just feel so, and I feel I'm also living in naivete, and I don't want to be blindsided. So I'm just curious if people felt the same way that we did, where they were doing
Naivete? Sorry. I don't have any sympathy for the woman, so I'm probably going to make fun of her now from now on, but notice her nice shiny red fingernails. She's trying to show off to everybody.
Really, really well. And then up to what point? Was it a certain trial that pushed you over the edge? Was it 6 months? Was it 12 months? Did it happen fast? Was it a slow decline? I just want to prepare myself for the different options that there are. I know there's a million and everyone's story is different, but I'm just curious, how did that progress for you? And I know that, excuse me, I know that as...
Oh, the poor dog seemed very nervous, didn't he? Poor thing. Oh. It was a golden retriever. Very pretty dog. She saved that.
I know that everyone's stories are different, and where the tumor was matters, and the reoccurrence size and all different kinds of things. I know that is all different based on the person. But I just am curious, was it fast is really what I want to know. Was it fast? And what happened? What were these factors that made you feel okay, we're moving in a downwards trajectory? Yeah. I just need to start to prepare myself, I think, and I think hearing other people's stories always helps me. So I'm sorry if this is depressing. Obviously don't share if you're not comfortable.
She was asking how long it takes for him to go away, the decline. Oh.
I just would love to start to wrap my head around what our future looks like. I hope everyone had a great weekend, and on to a new week. Okay, so now that I've done my emotional trauma dump on you guys, I'm going to give you an update on where we're at as far as treatment and other things, and it's not great, so bear with me, because I'm probably going to cry again. So I had felt we were in a really good space. Yes, he was irritable. Yes, he was tired, but he was working, and he was doing all the things, and so we're heading into week 4. I think we're in week 4 of radiation out of 6. So we're on to the other half, which is great. But it's a build up. So the beginning is a 0 and the end is 100. So his symptoms will exacerbate, his everything will just get worse and worse and worse. Fatigue, everything towards the end, because that's where his brain is the most swollen from the radiation, and that's just where the most side effects happen. he had been doing so well. Aside from the irritability that I talked about and some other like small things here and there, everything was great. Like I felt that we were doing fantastic. I think a couple of things went into play to what happened to us most recently, and I want to talk about that. So I think there was a few things that I wish my husband had been doing that he wasn't. I wish he had been resting more, and I wish he had been hydrating more. He's not a great water drinker. Like I drink like 60 million brewmates of water every single day, and he has like a couple of like glasses.
I mean, he had cancer. He wasn't going to live very long. Did it really matter? I mean, if I had that kind of cancer, any kind of cancer, I'd want to be doing whatever I wanted, you know? Drink whatever I want. Eat whatever I want.
And he was not resting as much as he should. He's, out trying to like do chores. He started gardening. Don't even get me started. And he's like still trying to be social. And
don't even get me started on what. So what? He was doing what he wanted. How would you think of if that was you? Always think about if you were in that position, you know? How would you want to be treated? You want to say you're not drinking enough water, even though you're going to be gone in a few months?
that has been just too much. Like, there's just no way. So last weekend he went to his hometown with all of his friends, and they went to a concert, and they just like, to any of his friends who are going to see this, and I don't even know if you guys have TikTok, like, I'm not blaming you, but I'm mad at you, so I'm sorry. But like, they wanted my old husband back. They wanted fun guy. They wanted to have a good time with him, and I just wish that they had remember that he had brain cancer, and I wish I had taken better care of him.
Oh, but you gotta be kidding me, you guys. He was living his last month on Earth, brain cancer, having fun with his friends. She did not like that he had fun with anybody else but her. Oh, she did not like that. I can't wait to see when the friends and family and stuff come out and talk about all this. I bet his friends have a lot of things to say. By the way, I want to say thank you to one of the comments I got was they noticed that she only has one facial expression. Anybody else notice that? I guess I didn't. But she doesn't. She's got the one same facial expression. Interesting. Thank you.
Regardless, it doesn't matter. It happened. He just, fun, and he did have a great time, and I'm happy about that. But he has brain cancer, and as much as he's ignoring it, and as much as his friends are pretending that it's not happening, I just wish they had pushed him to slow down, drink water, do all the things. Whatever. It's a moot point.
I think he had a good time out on at night, didn't he? Good for him.
So, that was Saturday. I felt we were in a good space. We went to Boston yesterday morning after his radiation, and we did like a follow-up with his neuro team, and he did labs. Labs looked great. Met with his neuro team. We asked a million bazillion questions just about everything that's going on. Like, what does the next couple of weeks look like? Like, just a lot of things that I had written down, some symptom stuff that I wanted to talk to them about. And she did her neurological exam on him, and he passed like with flying colors. Like, I actually, based on like what I had written down for symptoms and how I feel like he has been acting, his neurological exam like didn't reflect that. Like, I felt like when we left the meeting, the lady was like, she's such a naggy bitch, like, you're fine, because he was so strong. He looked great. It was crazy. So we went home, and I worked, and then I went to go pick our kids up from daycare, and like, that's when everything changed. And I had gotten 2 out of my 3 kids, and I was going to get my 3rd kid, and I got a text from my husband, and it was like very gibberish, but reading between the lines, it said, I'm in an ambulance, I had a seizure. And I was just like, no way. So I called my mom, as every adult does, but I called my mom because I was going to pick my 3rd kid up, and she lives about 5 minutes from there. And my parents are like my comfort. and also my kids' comfort. So I called my mom, and she was like, hello? And she thought I had the kids on the phone. She's like, hello? Like, it's just me on the phone. I said, oh my God, honey. That's what they call my mom, honey. Oh my God, honey, you want to have the kids over for dinner? That's so amazing. I will definitely drop them off. I'm just grabbing James, and I'll be there in 10 minutes. And she just knew. She said, yep, no problem. Drop them off. So then I hung up. I just texted her. I said, my husband had a seizure. And she said, okay, no problem. We got it. So thankful for them. So I dropped my kids off at my parents' house, and I went right to the hospital, which is like 3 minutes from their house. And like, as I'm walking in, he's getting unloaded from the ambulance. So I get into the room eventually, and I'm just like, what happened? So basically he was talking to one of our neighbors, and
Cancer. He had cancer, lady. Man, I don't know. She should have went to a therapist, right?
our area, yesterday it was like 150 degrees, I swear, and 1000% humidity. So couple that with, he didn't take care of himself, he was dehydrated, it was hot, he has 4 weeks of radiation swelling, like all of that. So he was talking to our neighbor about a project that we're doing in our house, and he was in our driveway, and he felt his leg on the right side start to cramp almost, and it didn't go away. So he just said, okay, thanks, I see ya. And he came back down our driveway, and by the time he got down to the bottom of our driveway, I would give it I think it sounds like it was maybe 2 minutes from that, he was in a full-blown seizure. It was only on the right side of his body, so they consider that focal, that then turned general. It wasn't a grand mal or anything like that, but he had a full-on seizure, and that, I just can't. And the guilt that I feel, I know that things have been great, so there was nothing that would lead me to believe I can't leave him alone, but the guilt that I feel that he was alone and had to have it happen, and he didn't have anyone. That he didn't have anyone to help him or to make him feel safe. It's just so fucking sad.
No, you were upset because you couldn't be there to control the situation. You missed out. It wasn't sad because he had a seizure, because you killed him.
So I'm not going to get into a ton of the logistics because it's not my story to tell, but he was able to come to, and he was able to get his phone out and call 911. And they came quickly, and they were able to help him. Thank God. So, I met him at the hospital. They did the CT. They confirmed it was seizure, not a stroke, which I also wanted to because it was a heat stroke, whatever. And it wasn't, it was a seizure. So, but based on his recovery, they got 2 bags of fluid into him. They bumped him up with Keppra, which is an anti-seizure med. They gave him a bunch of Ativan, which is a relaxer. They were able to discharge him, and we went home late at night. And my wonderful parents, I got my kids to bed and done all the things, and they actually brought them to one of my restaurants for dinner to give them comfort. So it all worked out the best that I could for the shittiest situation ever. So he had radiation this morning. Obviously I had to drive him because now he can't drive, and we were able to meet with his radiation oncologist, and he decided that he wanted to start him on a steroid. So now he's on all of his chemo meds, his Zofran, all of his regular meds. Now he's on Keppra, and now he's on dexamethasone, which is a steroid. So it's just pile it on. And I'm happy that we have a plan. I felt good leaving radiation today. Okay, we have a plan for a solution, and I needed that to have an inkling of peace. So that's my update, and we're going to be on this treatment plan until the end of his radiation treatment, if not longer. And we are praying for no more seizures. I will take every positive thought for no seizures that I can get. So I had to run to my office really quick to do a couple of things for work after doing the daycare summer camp shuffle, and I have to I have literally 5 minutes to do what I need to do, and then run home to take my husband to his second to last radiation appointment. But running around every day, but specifically today for some reason, it brought back the memory that 6 weeks ago we were going to do a trial in Boston. And I remember being I hope we get it, I hope we get the arm, I hope we can be a part of it, and then feeling bummed that we got the control arm, which is just the standard of care. I remember us being upset about that we weren't.
She seems a lot more upbeat in these after that 1 month in June where her boss came to her accusing her of embezzling, and she was supposed to have receipts and proof of this and that, and she kind of dodged them. She seemed a little more upbeat after that. Maybe she thought it would go away.
We just were going to be like in doing treatment in our town, basically having to go to Boston every 2 weeks. But like with daycare and school and my work and camps and the kids and all that, I could not fathom driving to Boston every single day. And like, yeah, I'm bummed and maybe down the road we might have to do that. I could not fathom spending 3 to 4 hours a day in the car driving him to treatment. Like, there's just no way we would have made that work. I mean, we would have, but it would have been so disruptive and chaotic, and we would have had to call in every single troop in our village to help us like survive. Okay, in a new location because I really only did have 5 minutes, and then I got distracted because someone came upstairs to talk to me. And now I'm waiting for my husband to do his radiation. He's inside. But the whole point of that video was to just like hopefully one day be able to reflect on how intense that beginning was and how all of our decisions were like so emotionally based. Like I was like, we'll do anything. We'll go to Germany. We'll go to Boston every single day. And like, while that still is true, I would make whatever we needed to have happen. It just is so funny to like think that it really was for the best that we didn't get into that trial right now. Like the summers are so crazy for us with camp and my work and daycare and everything, trying to like be normal and make memories and all that stuff. Like there was going to Boston every single day would have been so disruptive, and it would have been so hard to coordinate. Like, so it kind of is like a blessing in disguise that we didn't get picked for anything besides standard of care. And it just was a reflective reminder of that when he got diagnosed, we were so panicked, we were so scared, we were making such emotional decisions, we were being irrational, and we've reached a much more practical place where moving forward, as things progress, as things change, as reoccurrences happen, as treatments and trials come along, I just have a better understanding of like what bandwidth that we have as a family, and specifically like what I can offer as a caregiver and a parent and a full-time working mom and stuff, as far as like what I can offer for time and what I can set our expectations as, because I know that driving him to Boston every single day just would not have worked for us as like a long-term solution. So just still navigating how all of this works and trying to be more grounded and realistic of like what we have going on. And should I need to come back to this video in a few months or a few years, like at least it'll be here to remind myself like you can't do everything all at once. I had to run to my office really quick to do a couple.
Yeah, so the one thing that got me in this was when she mentioned the friends, you went out with some friends and had fun. And she was not having that. Not acceptable. I mean, he wasn't going to be around much longer. Let the man do what he wants. Well, I guess that's my opinion, right? All right. Thank you, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow night.